Alaska, a land sculpted by glaciers, has a dramatic beginning. During the last ice age, massive ice sheets covered much of the northern hemisphere. These glaciers carved out Alaska's dramatic landscape. Mountains rose, valleys deepened, and the land took on its distinctive shape. The Ice Age played a crucial role in shaping the Alaska we see today. As the glaciers retreated, they left behind a land of incredible diversity. Towering mountains, vast forests, and fertile river valleys emerged. This diverse landscape would become home to a rich variety of plant and animal life. The glaciers also created a unique geography, separating Alaska from the rest of North America. This isolation contributed to the development of distinct cultures and ecosystems. The Bering Land Bridge, which once connected Asia and North America, disappeared beneath the rising seas. This event shaped the future of Alaska and its people. The land bridge had allowed for the migration of people and animals, leaving a lasting legacy on the region's history. Thousands of years ago, as the glaciers retreated, the first humans arrived in Alaska. They came from Asia, crossing the Bering Land Bridge in search of new hunting grounds. These intrepid explorers were the ancestors of Alaska's indigenous peoples. Over time, they spread out across the vast Alaskan landscape. They adapted to its diverse environments, from the Arctic tundra to the coastal rainforests. These first Alaskans were skilled hunters and fishermen. They relied on the land and sea for their survival. They developed unique cultures and traditions deeply connected to the natural world. The indigenous peoples of Alaska are incredibly diverse. They are comprised of many different groups, each with its own language, customs, and beliefs. The Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian peoples lived along the southeastern coast. They were known for their intricate wood carvings and totem poles. In the interior, the Athabascan people thrived in the boreal forests. They relied on hunting, trapping, and fishing for their livelihood. Along the Arctic coast, the Inuit people adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. They developed ingenious hunting techniques and tools to survive the long winters and icy waters. In the 18th century, a new chapter began in Alaskan history with the arrival of Russian explorers. Driven by the pursuit of furs, particularly the highly prized sea otter, Russian expeditions sailed across the Bering Sea. Vitus Bering, a Danish explorer in the service of the Russian Navy, made two significant voyages to Alaska. His first voyage, in 1728, confirmed the separation of Asia and North America. His second voyage, in 1741, led to the discovery of mainland Alaska and the establishment of the fur trade. Russian fur hunters, known as promishlenniki, established settlements along the coast. They traded with indigenous people for furs, which were highly sought after in Europe and China. The fur trade brought wealth to Russia but had devastating consequences for Alaska's native population. Diseases like smallpox, brought by the Russians, ravaged indigenous communities. Overhunting of sea otters and other fur-bearing animals decimated their populations. The Russian Orthodox Church also expanded into Alaska, converting many indigenous people to Christianity. Russian influence grew, and Alaska became a valuable source of furs and resources for the Russian Empire. However, the seeds of change were already being sown. By the mid-19th century, Russia's hold on Alaska began to weaken. The fur trade had declined, and the vast territory had become a financial burden. Meanwhile, the United States was expanding westward, and some American leaders saw Alaska's strategic importance. William Seward, Secretary of State under President Andrew Johnson, was a strong advocate for acquiring Alaska. He believed it would provide access to new resources and secure American interests in the Pacific. In 1867, after much negotiation, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million. The purchase was widely ridiculed at the time. Many Americans saw Alaska as a frozen wasteland and dubbed it Seward's Folly. Little did they know that Alaska held vast riches beneath its icy surface. The purchase of Alaska marked a turning point in the region's history. It shifted control from Russia to the United States and set the stage for a new era of exploration, development, and eventually, statehood. However, the transition was not without its challenges. The indigenous peoples of Alaska, who had long inhabited the land, faced new uncertainties and struggles under American rule.